Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's dive right into this truly historic 2022 World Cup clash between England and Wales. We're looking at a game where the pressure was absolutely off the charts. Fueled by geography, a shared history, and of course, the ultimate prize in global football.
There's this quote that just absolutely nails the surreal, high-stakes vibe of this matchup. From the river to the Severn estuary, an Anglo-Welsh cross-border bust-up brought to life on the Persian Gulf. Think about that for a second. These two squads traveled 3,000 miles away from home just to settle a massive, deeply felt regional rivalry with the folks from right next door, all playing out on the biggest stage in the world.
Now, going into the game, the contrasting mindsets were stark. For Wales, the reality was pretty harsh. They must triumph on a wing and a prayer. They had this deeply felt craving to finally overcome their English foe. On the flip side, England's objective was much cooler. They needed only to steer clear of calamity. So you have this emotionally churned dynamic where Wales is desperate for an absolute miracle, while England just needs to manage the game and, well, avoid disaster.
Section 1. A century-old rivalry. Let's see how this historic tension actually played out on the pitch.
150. For a century and a half, this rivalry has rumbled on. This wasn't just another group stage match, you know? It was 150 years of bragging rights and cross-border tension coming to a head. That staggering amount of history adds immense psychological weight to literally every single pass, tackle, and run we saw in those early stages.
And early on, man, you could just feel that tactical tension. England came out trying to break through, and we saw Marcus Rashford get quickly smothered by some magnificently alert goalkeeping from Danny Ward. Then there was Jude Bellingham. He brought the pitch to life with this absolutely gorgeous, mesmerizing footwork on the spin. But Wales, they showed real discipline. They totally declined the opportunity to just swing the ball wildly into the box, which England was probably expecting, and that patience allowed Joe Allen to find a rare little bit of space. It was a tight, probing start.
Moving to Section 2, the 98-second blitz, because right here is where the dam completely breaks. Let's map out exactly what happened, because the game totally changed in the blink of an eye. First, Phil Foden, just dashing full of mischief off his flank, is too fleet of foot and wins a crucial free kick. Second, Marcus Rashford steps up and delivers a magnificent strike that beats Danny Ward to break the deadlock. But England wasn't done. Almost immediately after the restart, Harry Kane wins the ball, supplies a beautiful pass, and fourth, Phil Foden easily executes the simplest of finishes. This devastating sequence left Wales completely reeling.
Actually, let's pause and focus on that first strike for a moment. No wonder Danny Ward shakes his head in disbelief, such is the purity of the strike. Rashford cleverly recognized that the keeper was creeping across to his right, fully anticipating the ball going over the wall. So when Rashford hit it with such absolute purity, Ward couldn't even get back to lay a single glove on it. It was a true pearl of a free kick.
So the crucial takeaway here is this number, 98. Just 98 seconds, a mere minute and a half, separated Rashford's breakthrough goal from Foden's finish at the back post. In those fleeting 98 seconds, before Wales had hardly even gotten their heads together or reorganized from the kickoff, their World Cup hopes essentially vaporized into thin air.
Section 3. Wales pushes back. Because despite that sudden collapse, Wales absolutely refused to disappear without a fight. We actually saw a really spirited mini-revival as the game inevitably opened up. Wales threw real ambition forward. Aaron Ramsey whipped a brilliant effort in toward their big center forward, Kieffer Moore. It forced a crucial, panicked defensive reaction. Just a quick little duck of the head from Harry Maguire to change the course of the ball. And then England's keeper, Jordan Pickford, had to get his feet moving and react incredibly adeptly to keep that deflected shot out. Wales was showing tremendous spirit to keep their outside hope alive.
However, that Welsh push left them wide open at the back, perfectly setting the stage for Section 4, Rashford's historic 100th goal.
Let's break down the micro-narrative of this second goal, really analyzing Rashford's exact thought process when he received that beautifully weighted ball from Calvin Phillips. He had one thing on his mind. First, a little foot over. Second, a quick shift to the ball. Third, getting sheer power behind the shot. He speared it right through Danny Ward. It was just a sequence of pure, unadulterated attacking intent.
And that precise, powerful technique resulted in another monumental number, 100. That strike was officially England's 100th World Cup goal. It cemented a massive milestone for the national team, basically getting the match completely done and dusted against their neighbors from across the Severn Bridge.
But honestly, for Rashford personally, it meant so much more. As one observer put it, the confidence is seeping out of every pore of this player. After a really tough couple of years, this wonderful young talent found his joy for the game again. You could literally see it in his body language. Marcus Rashford was loving life again, back to where he was 3 years ago, and you simply cannot fail to be pleased for him as he drew absolute joy from the pitch.
All right, with the match sealed and England looking incredibly calm and cool defensively, let's look at Section 5, Dreams End and Continue.
At the final whistle, the emotional realities couldn't be more stark. For Wales, 0 goals, and their longed-for dream is sadly over. For England, 3 goals, and their long-held dream remains very much alive. It's a beautifully brutal contrast of how this highly charged derby ended up, with England marching inexorably forward and Wales facing the end of their momentous journey.
Which leaves us with one final question to ponder. With unstoppable momentum and confidence seeping from every pore, can England carry this devastating form into their last 16 clash with Senegal? I mean, they proved they can utterly dismantle a team in under 2 minutes. The psychological masterclass we just unpacked will surely be the fuel they take into the knockout stages. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and definitely keep that 98-second blitz in mind as we watch the rest of this tournament unfold.